the face, the only face, the real face of women's basketball, period. She did it again, Caitlin Clark, shattering records, creating new viewership records for USA Sports. She did it again. Y'all keep running around trying to pretend like this person's the face of the league, that person's the face of the league because they've been here.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Clark Update. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today I've got another exciting and highly interesting video for you. And if you're a true Caitlin Clark fan, you're definitely going to want to watch this one until the very end. Before we get started, let me know you're part of the Clark Update army by commenting CC 100% below. I love seeing all the amazing Clark fans in the comments. Now without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into today's video. League executives are scurrying in a full state of emergency tonight after the executive boardrooms at the WNBA headquarters crumbled into complete unadulterated chaos. Caitlin Clark just gave front office gatekeepers a brutal, heartless ultimatum in an unprecedented power play that shocked the whole sports world. Clark did not celebrate her enormous personal triumph after setting yet another record and winning Player of the Week. Rather, she focused directly on league executives, calling for Sophie Cunningham's prompt reinstatement following her surprise union ban, and made it very evident that she is leaving and bringing millions of fans with her if this catastrophe isn't resolved right soon. The absurd politics that led to this nuclear confrontation in the first place must be examined and
Smarter than 50 years of sports business, Darren Rovell is telling the truth. Leagues and unions have been long forbidden using derogatory NIL. The most popular NBA student example of this is the Reggie Miller choke and crotch grab. There she is, Helen of Troy. Sophie Cunningham herself. They generally do not know how to run a marketing campaign. Folks, when I first saw this, I was like, dude, who is this troll? Who is this troll? But then I looked at the source and I was like, oh, this is a real source. This isn't some Joe Schmo.
in order to fully comprehend the absolute terror that is currently paralyzing network executives and administrative committees. Millions of true fans were furious when Sophie Cunningham, one of the most genuine, stern, and beloved figures in contemporary women's basketball, was subjected to a confusing, oppressive union limitation. Administrative suits chose to engage in cheap backroom politics, marginalizing Cunningham and hoping the public wouldn't notice rather than praising true merit and on-court tenacity. However, they committed one grave deadly error. They misjudged Caitlin Clark's commitment to genuineness. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 90% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now, back to the video. Clark did not write a courteous email or use a public relations staff to release a sanitized corporate statement.
Lady right here, Sophie Cunningham. So that takes us back to Darren Rovell. The WNBA Players Association is currently prohibiting licensees from using the Sophie Cunningham point, saying that it is, quote, derogatory. What? That is absurd. And if I was Sophie Cunningham, I would be kicking and screaming. What? I saw this and was like, oh, this league is ate up with the perpetually offended. The most viral moment of the year can't get licenses because you got players that were offended by it. Remember all the people online? Oh, that's so disrespectful to black women.
She walked straight into the spotlight, slammed her fist on the table and said something that will live on in sports history forever. Bring Sophie back and remove the ban or you're going to ruin yourselves. The cold hard broadcast value of every word Clark said was worth millions of dollars. She made it plain to everyone that she will not tolerate the league mistreating true stars who co-founded this game by publicly exposing the gatekeepers for undermining their own platform. For network sponsors, the league's current financial situation is an absolute nightmare. Every night, more than 1.4 million devoted fans tune in just to watch Caitlin Clark play, causing broadcast numbers to soar to previously unheard of heights. However, those broadcast measures instantly disappear in the absence of Clark. Clark effectively controlled the entire
That's really the question. Like, is Caitlyn going to be your superstar? And your Batman, and Kelsey, your Robin.
The fact that this even has to be a conversation is why this thing needs to be split apart. The Indiana Fever, when Caitlyn and Kelsey play, yes, they're effective because they're both really, really great basketball players. I mean, well, Kelsey, she could score. She don't do nothing else, but she could score the hell out the basketball. But the fact that there's no pecking order established, it's like a free-for-all, that is the problem. That's the problem. The Dallas Wings established a pecking order. The Las Vegas Aces established a pecking order. The Liberty established a pecking order. Like all these other superstars, or not other stars, because they're not superstars, because people don't really watch them. But all of the other great players, LA Sparks, Kelsey Plum, there's a pecking order. The Indiana Fever is the only place where there's no real pecking order, and that's the problem.
When last year, when Caitlyn was out, then you relied heavily on Kelsey. And you guys were one game away from making it to the finals, right? So my thing is, we talked about
sports economic engine by threatening to use her star power to defend Sophie Cunningham. In an instant, she demonstrated that those 1.4 million supporters are not part of the league's corporate brand. She owns them. Hull meetings at company headquarters have devolved into tumultuous yelling battles and finger-pointing behind locked doors. League executives are receiving panicked emergency calls from network producers who have already pre-sold millions of dollars in primetime advertising slots. How can you explain to advertisers around the world that your biggest star is threatening a complete shutdown due to an unfair player ban? After years of exercising their administrative authority over athletes, the gatekeepers are suddenly recognizing they have no more options. They have two options. Either comply with Clark's demands or watch as their whole business collapses in real time on national television. Players are in complete wonder as they watch this historic match from every team facility in the nation. For many years, athletes were compelled by traditional
Every time she sets foot on the court whilst shattering viewership records, that's Caitlin Clark for you, the face of the league. Yeah. Look, Aces. Oh man, maybe it was Ace's son. I thought it was Ace's Sparks. Ace's son USA 343,000. Wow, I thought it was Ace's Sparks. Maybe they just don't have the Ace's Sparks on this list, but damn. That's bad news bears. That's bad. The three highest rated games on USA, Fever Sparks, Fever Tempo, Fever Sparks. Oh, one common denominator to certain somebody's team. Is it not? Is it not Jamel Hill? Let's get into the player of the week, shall we? Your AP player of the week, Caitlin Clark. Many people reported on this yesterday. Many people talked about this yesterday. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark, player of the week, well deserved. Getting player of the week while on minutes restriction is wild work. It's crazy. Absolutely insanity. Caitlin Clark by herself is must-see TV. She is amazing and the only person I have to drop everything I'm doing to watch her play. WNBA candidate and all
league institutions to keep quiet, submit to unjust administrative rulings, and cooperate with corporate goals out of fear. However, such bonds have been irreversibly destroyed by Caitlin Clark's powerful defense of Sophie Cunningham. The culture of the locker room has completely changed. Athletes from all over the sport are recognizing that corporate suits are helpless to stop elite talent from speaking out against selective favoring and backroom politics. Now, mainstream sports pundits who typically go to great lengths to support corporate policy must endure the ultimate humiliation while sitting live on television. Reality has utterly captured analysts who spent months attempting to claim that Clark's enormous cultural impact was just typical league growth. A full-scale digital war broke out on social media as soon as Clark spoke up in support of Cunningham. Millions of admirers poured into the comment sections, abstaining from official network pages and fervently supporting Clark's demand. And all this goes beyond a single player suspension or a single basketball week.
Top 4 three-point shooters in the entire WNBA. Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and we have Caitlin Clark. There wasn't a picking the best, the most popular player, but clear anti-fever agenda. Now, I believe they might have tweeted this before news came out that Caitlin Clark actually declined that, but I don't know if Sophie would have turned it down. Now, we don't know if they invited Sophie, but I'm pretty sure Sophie is definitely going to respond to this. You know what I'm saying? I do know Sophie do respond to people. If we like add her a bunch of times on Twitter, try to see why, like, got to be something we could do. Sophie Cunningham, as of right now, is 43%. Aaliyah Boston, 46%. Kelsey Mitchell, 42%. Wow, bro. So, technically, Aaliyah Boston is the best three-point shooter right now in the whole W. Wow, bro. Where's AZ Flood at? Wow. It's definitely going to be a boring three-point contest. But I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now. Make sure you guys keep them bills on. I will be back with more content.
The way contemporary media empires operate has fundamentally changed. Executive boards believed for years that they could choose who is promoted and who is suppressed, control the narrative and hide behind selected regulations. However, a committee cannot control actual generational stardom. Raw, unvarnished enthusiasm and genuine sympathy with her peers are the foundation of Clark's pulling power. Millions follow her when she talks, rendering the legacy gatekeepers completely powerless. The league administration is currently under tremendous pressure from major corporate sponsors to find a quick solution. As corporate lawyers assess the disastrous consequences of a possible boycott by Clark, multi-million-dollar brand contracts are in jeopardy. Corporate leaders are more concerned with eyes on screens and public goodwill than they are with administrative pride or backroom union politics. Additionally, the public support for Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham is currently 100% putting league officials.
Just proud of our group, and obviously a lot of people stepped up in AB's absence, and obviously KK, was incredible tonight too. You said you could tell before the game started. Was there a moment or point in time where that happened? A specific thing happened? How did that feeling come for you? I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you just have to believe you're going to have those type of nights, and you have to visualize having those type of nights, and I feel like that's what I did, and, it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes there's going to be, a stretch where the ball's not going through the rim, and you can't get discouraged, and I know all the time in the work that I put in, and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself, and, you just got to dig your feet in a little bit, and, when it's not going your way, nobody cares, and find a way to make it better and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
Okay, can you take us through 102 tied up?
You're kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of falling down. They got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was your 41st point to kind of go ahead that whole play. Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and they kind of blew up our ATO. They played good defense and, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean. I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball, and then obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster. I wanted to play fast. I didn't want them to...
In a difficult position with nowhere to retreat. An unstoppable cultural wave has emerged in response to this nuclear ultimatum. Massive viewing blackouts have been organized by fan organizations on all major platforms who have vowed to switch off their TVs the moment a game without Clark or Cunningham airs. The audience's message is crystal obvious. If executive suits don't act morally, sports fans would cheerfully watch the league's viewership plummet. They deserve justice, respect, and real competition. There is no turning back for the front office. The line in the sand has been firmly drawn. The public sees the unadulterated truth despite the administrative gatekeepers' best efforts to distort the story, issue damage control comments, or conceal themselves behind legalese. Caitlin Clark has officially discovered what no female knows by using her enormous record-breaking platform. By exposing the corporate machine and demonstrating beyond a shadow of a doubt that genuine excellence will always prevail over administrative corruption, Caitlin Clark has formally used her enormous record-breaking platform to defend her fellow players. How do you feel about Caitlin Clark threatening the league as a whole to defend Sophie Cunningham? Is this the biggest power maneuver in contemporary sports history,